Hey guys, today we are going to be learning basic ACF turrets. Just basic ACF turrets. So, for this video, I'm going to be putting the E2 down inside of the description if you ever need help with anything. If you ever need help with anything, this is my server. Right here. I'm usually always on it. Well, not really always. If I see players on it, I go on. Anyways, but for this tutorial, we're going to be using S-props. So, if you don't have S-props, it's a good time to download it. I'll probably put links in the description for it too. But for this, we're going to do plates 48. The square plate right here. Bring it up. Hold Shift and E, because you could lock it and right-click. Now, you always want to build north. On this map, north is that way, but you're like, how do I find out north? Because there's servers with spray mesh. Spray mesh will disable it from pointing north. It'll just put it any direction. Go to paint, smile, spawn down paint. The top of the smile is north. It will always be north. So now you know which direction north is. You always build north. It's good to put a lot of them down so you don't ever forget. You could always just look. Okay, then someone's gonna fuck someone's dog. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, but plate 36 is gonna be your next plate. Spawn it in, bring it up, Shift E, right click again. And we're gonna be using, I would use precision alignment for the advanced, but I'm going to do that later towards the end of the video to show you how to use it. We'll just do precision real quick. Precision's a lot easier. I like unchecking rotate target. Just use these settings. Move. Make sure move's highlighted by left clicking it. And let's color this real quick. So this is our base prop. We're going to make this blue. This is our turret prop. We're going to make it red. Our turret base and our main base. So like if this is a tank, this is the base that you built the tank off of. This is the base where the turret's connected. So we're going to use our precision tool with move. Hold E on the snap lines and left click. Now go to your turret base. Hold E. Left click. Now, because we have push and pull them out, set that to 80. And then press R 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Access center, left click, left click. So now this is access to our base. Shift E it, make sure it's straight. Now, ACF menu, guns, auto cannon. We're going to use the 50mm just for fun. Now if you notice, there's a weight to it, 2,130 kilograms. We're going to be remembering that later. Bring this gun up, point it north, the direction you're building. And now we're going to go back to precision. We're going to move. And aim for this little box you see here. This is where I like using it. And I'm going to go right here. Hold E, left click, top of this, hold E, left click. Now from the turret, we're going to bring it up 1 with 80. And then we're going back to axis center. Left click on the side, never the top, always the side, and then left click. Now, usually you'll be doing rope turrets. I'll put out another video for that too, but right now we're just doing the basic turret. Now since that is done, wire, and my game always crashes on loading expression 2. Sorry about that. Like I said, my game loading expression 2 always crashes, but that's because I have a lot of them. So we're going to pull out the chip that's going to be in the description. I search it by V6, which is this chip right here. We're going to spawn that down on our base. Now usually if you're building a vehicle, you want this little red arrow to be pointing north. But since this is going to be a 360 turret with no limits on it, it could point wherever basically. Yeah. Now we're gonna go to vehicles,
I like peanut.
chairs, airboat seat. That guy looks like he's gonna be a troll. I'm checking this. That's most likely gonna be a troll. Just to be safe, I'm going to put down a anti-spam. Yeah. There we go. That is going to stop players from spamming and server they spam, it'll jail them. Making sure no one crashes it. Well, actually, we'll probably be fine. But anyways, sorry about that. We're gonna go to EGP. When you're in EGP, make sure your screen type is HUD. You just click this, select HUD. It'll be default screen. Make sure it's HUD. Use these settings. Left click, right click, right click. Now we're going to the cam controller. Cam controller, I like using the flat one. Client side movement, auto unclip, draw player, parent is all you want checked. Don't check anything else, it will mess with the E2. Left click, right click, right click. Now we're gonna go to pod controller, and again, if y'all can't find any of these, you could use this tab right here and just search pod, and you'll see pod controller. Left click, right click, right click. Now we're going to be wiring. Now wires all the way down at the bottom usually under tools, but if you're using a radial HUD like me, you can just do that. Now hold shift. Continue holding shift through all of this until I say let go of shift. So left click on active while holding shift, scroll down, left click on mouse 1, scroll down, left click, scroll down, left click, scroll down, left click on pod controller. Now let go of shift. Now look at your pod controller, left click, hold Alt. Hold the Alt key, A-L-T. Left click, now let go of the Alt key. Now we're going to do cam wire link to your cam controller, EGP to the EGP, gun goes to gun to entity, engine, there's no engine, base goes to your blue base prop, chair goes to your chair, turret entity goes to your turret base prop, gun ready goes to ready, and I'll bring this up here. Now the turret's all set up. It's always good to use advanced duplicator with your stuffs too. So if advanced duplicator, let's make a file, so right click, advanced dupe 2, new folder, folder name, we're going to call this YouTube turret, and you click this little folder here, it says add new folder. I have a lot of folders, I have lots of builds. Now we're going to, before we do anything, set your area copy size up to 300. Now if you're in a server, don't be afraid, you won't copy anyone else's dupes as long as this is checked. Now if you want to check it, you still can't copy others' dupes because most servers have a buddy system as well. But that's what you want to check, and just check those two. Now hold shift, right click, let go of shift, right click again. Now you have your turret. Now right click, save, save, and you click the little plus icon to go to your save. Now you'll notice you never use the original, always put down save with left click. If you unfreeze this and you bring up your base prop, it's floppy. It's unusable. It's still aimable, but it's floppy. That's because we have to set weight. Now we're gonna pretend this is a tank. Most tanks rock a base prop of like 4,000 or 5,000, but we're gonna make a light tank of 2,000 for the base prop. Now this prop you want to be 10 more than anything on there. So the gun is 2,130. We're gonna do 2,140. Wait. Now, if you're using a turret and let's say you have lots of armor on it, it's best to use, I'll show y'all that method in a different video, but it's best to use the block method. If you're doing it this way, just use a block for the turret. You can weight that a lot higher. You never ever weight ACF. It will break ACF. It won't work. Never weight. Redo the weight on ACF. But now it's 2140. So again, right click, hold shift, right click again, right click, save. Lots of right clicking. Spawn it. And if you notice, look at how much more solid it is. Look how good it aims now. It aims beautifully. It's amazing. And there's a fight going down there in between our head admin and the player. That's amazing. But anyways, now we're doing ammo. So now we're going to go under ammo. And armor penetrating is good for you. You want penetrate armor, but you have to know where the ammo boxes are. That's such as stuff to get through it. Armor penetrating high explosives, what I like to use best, because it'll go through the first prop. Then once it hits a second prop, it'll blow up, which is great. Go down here, select 50mm autocannon, 50mm AC. This is just adjusting the ammo box size, but we're going to set HE filler volume all the way up. Projectile length all the way up. Now scroll down to where you see maximum penetration. Move this until you can get your maximum penetration, the biggest number you can on there. Which for us seems to be 81. Now, move that all the way up. It'll drop it down, but it's more explosive, more powerful. Spawn it. Now, say that box is a little small to your liking, we can move up the box size, like 3x4x8. You don't have to, but it just gives you more rounds, but I'll show you how you could also do a different substitute for that. But I'm going to go back to 2 4x4. Because it's a decent size. And I'm also going to be... Now with these, you always do that to set up your max penetration. Unless it's HE, you don't have to mess with that too much because that does not matter. It's just going to blow up on contact, so you just move that all the way forward and that all the way forward and that's it. And then your HE all the way forward. But now we're going to go up here and select refill. This will keep refilling your crate. Use a 1x1x2. It sounds dumb. You think, well, that's only going to hold one round. With ACF logic, it won't. It'll hold 4,357 rounds. There's no settings with this. Now, due to ACF rules, you never put this on your vehicles or anything. Always have it separate from the vehicle, not attached to the vehicle. I don't condone using it against ACF rules in vehicles. I do myself, but that's because, well, I'm kind of a retard, so yeah. But anyways, now go back to your wire tool, which would be right there. Wire active to munitions, whatever that word is, active to munitions. And then we'll wire fire from your gun to mouse 1 on the pod controller. Now go back to ACF menu, right click the gun, right click your ammo box, advanced duplicator. Now before we do anything, right click your ammo box while holding C, disable collisions. Disable collisions on all your stuff. You always want to disable collisions. And then go boink, boink, and boink. And now, you should have a working cannon. You just mouse 1 and it'll fire. Now something... Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, now the gun may change a little due to the fact that ammo, but that's perfectly fine. Now with armor, I'll show armor real quick. So let's say you're armoring. Let's say you're doing this. Now with precision, you can't really do this too easily. I'll show you precision, then precision alignment. So for move with precision, you just go from your center. So like your gun, I guess, on your center there, and then you just right click, right click, right click. Just keep right clicking here where you want. I'm gonna right click it till I'm right about there, I guess. And then I'll initially disable the collisions, weld it to the gun, and then I'm going to go to, you never do wait for this, you go to ACF armor properties, and let's say, we want this to be, well, 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters of ductility, I like setting a little bit higher because they'll handle more. So ductility, the higher and positive number it does, the more it could stop, but the quicker it's going to get destroyed. Less, like once it goes to a negative, stuff could go through it pretty easily, but it won't get destroyed as quickly. I like using that on more like visual stuff that I don't feel like hollowing. I like using it for that, due to the simple fact it doesn't really get destroyed easily, and it's just visual, so who really cares? I'll usually set the thickness to 1, but we're going to set this to 50. And left click. Now you see the mass has changed. So now we have this mass on the gun's mass. So now we're going to change this from 2140 to account for that mass. So we'll make that, let's see, 40, 50, 60. So we'll go 2160. Now it's not exactly 10 more, I know, but it's close. I don't feel like doing math right now. Now we're going to go to wires, gates, and spawn a gate on the gun. It doesn't matter what the gate is. It doesn't have to be specific. Just put a gate on the gun. Now, go to multi-parent, because you never just weld a prop on ACF and just let it move. Unless it's this base or this base, it should not just be welded. Go to multi-parent and do these settings. Remove constraints, disable collisions, disable shallows. Now if you're using thin on a plane, uncheck remove constraints. But now we're going to left click our prop, left click the gate, right click. And now we're going to dupe, spawn. And now you have a little bit of armor on your cannon. Now, thing is, people might be saying, well, how do I mess with the cam and everything? You go to E2, right click on your E2, and you see where it has elevation. You could set your elevation. So let's say I want this to elevate 80 degrees. I want to depress 5. I want the yaw to be 180, 180s all the way around, 90s flush side to side as it says. Rotate speed, I want it to be quick. Let's say you want to slow it down to like 8 for realism. You normally don't mess with that stuff. Now, you want to alter the camera. Well, I never figure out the cameras on these too well. I have to find the camera first. The camera is at line... Oh, right here. Camera's at line 100 through 105. So let's say you want to mess with the camera. Oh, we'll make that 0. Make that 0, that 0. We'll 0 out this cam. First person cam. 0, you never want spaces like that. I don't know why there's spaces in there. That usually sometimes messes with stuff, depends on the server. But we want, let's just say, 80. So that's our height. That's up, down. This is left, right, I believe. And this changes... I'm not sure. I think that's right and that's left. It's some weird thing. I never understood that. But let's say we want that. If you'll notice, now our cam is changed. Now our cam's changed. Now most of y'all might be getting this. That's because that's first person. Press control and you'll go into third person. Now let's say we want to set up our first person. Go back into the E2. And let's set our first person offset to be 200. Because it's not really first person, it's going to be like our big boy. Our big camera. Now of course you always save, but now we have that. And then that. That's first person. Then we have third person. Holding left click, it'll fire automatically. But there you go. That's how you build a turret and do the armor for it. Alright, hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope it helps out. I'll put E2 in the description, and I'll also put links to S-props, and... I probably won't link S-props. Oh yeah, before I go, precision alignment. So back to the turret thing. We'll really quickly color, I guess. Doink, 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 doink. This is how you precision align it. Well, for just simple moving stuff, select hit pose, and we'll do snap to center lines to make it easier. We'll check these. Left click, you'll see it makes a point. Then on the top of this one, hold shift, do another left click. That'll make a second point. If you just left click, it's just gonna move that point over. Right click this prop, and then 1 to 2, move entity. Right click, delete all. Now if you want to move it up, you just go left click, hold shift, left click, 1 to 2, right click, move entity, move entity, move entity, because you're moving it on its own base. But that's basically that there. But yeah, now y'all know how, and it's always good to save your turret. Hope this helps. Have a good one.